So this is the point in my hair journey where I am currently suffering from a setback. It's not something that I am taking lightly at all, but I'm not gonna let it stop me from my goal of healthy waist length hair either, because I know how to fix it. But first, let me tell you what happened. For the last 4 months, I'd say I have been flat ironing my hair a lot. Not only flat ironing, but once I flat iron my hair, if like the edges like right here get frizzy, or like back here, I would re-flat iron those parts. I also was not deep conditioning as much. And it's crazy because it's like I know what to do to have healthy hair, but for some reason I was just like, like I just want this certain style, like it'll be fine, like I'll fix it later or whatever. I'll do something to compensate later. And then I never would. I'd be like, okay, well I'm gonna put this extra stress on my hair, but then I'm going to deep condition 3 times in 2 weeks or something. And then I just would never do it. So that's the first thing. You guys never flat ironed hair. Okay, excuse that siren if you can hear it, but yeah, never, ever, ever flat iron hair that has already been flat ironed. Like, you've already sucked all the moisture out of it, so now it's just kind of dry and brittle, and you're just doing it over and over again without reapplying any more moisture. So I did that so many times within the last 4 months, it's not even funny, because I kind of wanted to wear my hair straight a lot, because in the winter, my hair like tangles so easily if it's natural. I mean, not natural, but if it's like curly and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'll do this. So now, yeah, I just have like thin ends because a lot of my hair broke off in certain places. Okay, so on January 22nd, I trimmed my ends wet, just like I did in my video. I'll post the link below on how I trim my ends wet, but I did it again and I cut off 1 inch like for every single section. So the ends are like nice and blunt, but certain layers are like extremely thin, like the layers around like the edges of my hair and like the back. And at first I was noticing a lot of breakage. That's why I trimmed my hair 1 inch on January 2nd. So I was like, okay, maybe that'll help. But then one day I was just kind of going through row by row and I found so much breakage. So let me show you how I do that. Basically, this is how you find out if you have like breakage going on. Okay, taking this comb and I'm just parting like the first layer. And you know, I don't have thin hair, so I mean, not to say that it looks super thin now, but I really don't like how thin the ends are. I mean, how thin certain sections are. So you do this. Now I'm just combing it out a little. And now the first layer, look how thin it gets at the ends. You can see that most of the hair broke off at around here, and then it just started getting really wispy. And the day that I really looked at this, like I'd say up to here is just all thin ends that need to be cut off. So I realized that for the first layer of my hair, right here, it all used to be, every strand used to go down to the end like this. But now a lot of them, I'd say like half of them don't. So I'm gonna have to cut about I'm gonna cut like 4 inches from the first layer of my hair. Now, yeah, I mean, I don't, like, my whole goal most of the time and all the time is to have like thick, healthy hair, and then the length will come later, but you don't want to have long, stringy hair. So that's why I'm doing this now. And to just chop off 4 inches is like a huge deal because other layers aren't really damaged. So you don't want to just come and chop off 4 inches of hair. That's a lot. So what I plan on doing is cutting off 1 inch of this layer every 2 months. So So in 2 months it'll have grown a whole inch. I'll just cut off that new inch. So that's the problem with the breakage. Now, so I have breakage here. Another place I have breakage is on the second layer of my hair. And for me, the second layer, I always count it as like where my ear is and then just a cross section of that. So just parting from there again. And that comb really helps to give you like a super even part. Yeah. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so just parting there again for the second layer, I see the same thing. God, is this like super dark? Okay. Yeah, so for the second layer, I see the same thing, where I have hair that's like, some of it goes all the way to the end, but it just looks kind of thin compared to the beginning. See that? Thick to thin. And again, I feel like I need to cut about 4 inches on that second layer. And it's kind of messed up because that's like my longest layer, but you know, I have to do what I have to do. Yeah, so that's another problem. And then another, like, this is how you like find breakage. Like, you just go row by row and see what's going on with your hair, especially if you know like kind of why it's happening. You just go to that section and look at what's going on. So it's pretty much the same thing with around here too. I'd say it's actually worse. It's about 5 inches that need to be cut for that, so that everything can catch up and be thick again from root to tip. And also, like in the middle for some reason, there's breakage, and I'd say there was about 3 inches of breakage right there. To realize all that breakage had happened was like really overwhelming, and I was like, oh, like that is not what I need right now. But then I thought, I need to go to a stylist, I need to go to a salon and just have them like even my hair out and cut it. And yeah, I was just really distraught at first, but then I thought, wait a minute, I know better than anyone else what happened to my hair because I did it. And I know what areas have breakage, and I need to find a way to fix this. So I'm a numbers kind of girl. I'm a numbers person. And I thought, okay, let's just write this down. From the 2 lowest layers, there's about 4 inches of breakage. You get ½ an inch a month. That means you get 1 inch a month. 1 inch every 2 months. I need 4 inches. So every 2 months, I'm gonna have to cut off 1 inch of the bottom. That way I won't see a significant length change in my hair. It'll pretty much be the same length, but it'll just be getting thicker and thicker every time because it'll be catching up to the breakage will be catching up to the rest of the hair. So I'm gonna cut 1 inch every 2 months off the 2 lower layers that I just showed you. That's gonna take 8 months to catch up. So I found this out February 1st, I'll say. March, April. April, first haircut of 1 inch on the bottom 2 layers. Now I'm also gonna do the same thing to the perimeter, which is missing like 5 inches because of my reckless flat ironing behavior. Yeah, see, look at that. That is not cool. Half of it is like super long, the other half stops right here. So yeah, that's about 5 inches missing. And it's crazy that like I have to show you guys this because it's not really that obvious if you just look at my hair all together. It doesn't look thin, but I could tell there was a difference, and I could see a lot of breakage when I was washing and conditioning. So luckily it's not super obvious, but it's obvious to me, so I'm gonna fix it. So yeah, and then the middle section that I told you about, that's also gonna be getting 1 inch cut off every 2 months. That's a game plan. So I'd say within 8 to 9 months this problem should be solved, and all my hair will be back to below brow strap length. The sections I'm not cutting, to repair breakage, I'm still gonna cut about an inch off every 4, 5, or 6 months. You know, I don't really know for the rest of the hair because I just did a trim of all over of an inch January 22nd, like I said. So I'm not trying to cut all my hair because a lot of it did not suffer breakage. It was just really what I said, the parts that I was flat ironing over and over again. So that's the plan. So let's see, 8 months. It's February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So by this coming October, my hair should be back to the original thickness and probably even a little bit better, because remember I had layers. So now all the layers will catch up to the longest part of my hair, and it'll all be one length at this point. So that's kind of cool. I haven't had that in years actually. So this is actually kind of fixing two problems at once. The breakage, which is a huge problem, which has caused thinning, and then the layers, which also I never really wanted, but they were just kind of there. So yeah, this is just a video, like I said, to show you that even if you know what you're doing, sometimes you will start to feel like you're invincible and you can do things that you know aren't good for your hair, and then you will suffer the consequences. And how to recover from it. Like, yeah, everyone goes through setbacks for any goal, really. It's not just going to be straight up, 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 up progress. Like, sometimes you're going to have bumps in the road. This is totally one of them. And yeah, practice responsible flat ironing. You just have to find a game plan to get back on track. So that's how you find breakage in your hair and where it is. And like I said, the way to remedy breakage is always to cut it. You could do a protein treatment, but if your hair is that weak where it's just snapping off, just cut it, you know? It's gonna grow back. It's not like your hair is not gonna grow back.